Donald Trump is returning to the White House, and that could shake up the real estate market to its core in 2025. And if you're not paying attention, you might miss out or lose big, right? So right now, interest rates high, tight inventory, soaring affordability challenges, all that has created a very tense market. It's leaving buyers, sellers, and investors scrambling to figure out their next move. I know that. How? Well, I've been getting phone calls since Trump has been elected. So many phone calls. But here's the deal. Trump's policies on deregulations, tax incentives, and inflation control could all create massive opportunities or trigger market shifts that leave you unprepared. So what you do today could set the stage for your success or setbacks in 2025. So let's break it all down so you can stay ahead of the curve, because we know this is the real deal and real estate channel. Always the facts, no fluffs. And stay to the end, because I'm going to tell you what I would do if I were a buyer, seller, or investor in this 2025 real estate market. Okay, so right now, you know what's going on. December 2024, a roller coaster market. Interest rates have been high, 7-8%. Sellers are holding off, tight inventory, and affordability is a very huge issue, right? I talk to these first-time home buyers every day, and they're struggling to break into this market. But now, with Donald Trump taking office again in 2025, we can definitely expect some key shifts when it comes to real estate. Now, I do agree with how America voted, but love him or hate him, Donald Trump is a businessman, and real estate has always been his wheelhouse. So how might this presidency shape the market? In the 3 areas that I think are important. Stay with me now to the end, and please comment below on each section. Do you agree, yes or no? And please, no political comments. I'm hearing too much of that on the news, okay? This is not a place for that. Now, key areas are deregulation, tax policies, and inflation and interest rates, okay? Let's talk about each one. Deregulation is first, because Trump's previous administration was all about loosening regulations, and we can see more of that in areas such as lending, which would make it easier for buyers to qualify for home loans, right? But on a larger scale, deregulation could impact builders and developers, and it will, with the shift in the permitting process for permits for new construction, because it's a mess right now. There's a mountain of red tape when it comes to zoning laws and environmental regulations and local government approvals. And it slows down the timeline for building homes, adds to the costs that ultimately get passed on to home buyers. And we need more affordable homes right now. So under the Trump administration, I believe we can see a push to streamline these processes, make it easier and faster for builders to get permits. It means more housing inventory hitting the market, assisting the low inventory problem, and could stabilize prices in some areas, okay? Additionally, I think we will see incentives for developers to build more affordable housing, because in the past, Trump has expressed interest in revitalizing the urban areas and encouraging growth through these opportunity zones. So if similar initiatives are brought back or expanded, builders just might find it more financially viable to take on projects that cater to first-time home buyers or middle-income families, which is desperately needed right now. So if you're a buyer or investor, pay attention to how these policies unfold. And if deregulation sparks a boom in new construction, it could create more opportunities, whether you're looking to buy a brand new home or invest in growing areas. So that's my take on deregulation. Next, tax policies, which are, I think, really important. Trump has been very vocal about cutting taxes for individual and businesses. And all his rallies and all his speeches, all his policies, he talks about this. Because taxes can have a massive effect on the decisions buyers, sellers, and investors make in 2025. It's going to affect us. And as the owner of several large investment properties, right here, this is music to my ears. Trump has floated the idea of reducing or even eliminating capital gains taxes on real estate sales. Gosh, if this happens, investors and people who own like second homes will be more compelled to sell, as they're keeping a larger chunk of their profit, increasing inventory, right? So all this goes back to increasing inventory. And then we have tax incentives for investors. Trump has always been a proponent of incentivizing real estate investors, and we may see a return of an expansion to programs like the opportunity zones I was talking about earlier. These zones are, what they do is they offer tax rates for investments in underserved areas, which can drive development and property appreciation in those areas. So if you're a real estate investor, that's something to keep on your radar. You could be opening doors to profitable opportunities in areas that you might not have considered before. That would be great. And then we have mortgage interest deduction and property tax relief, because Trump could push to expand this deduction or add new tax benefits for homeowners, encouraging more people to buy, especially in that middle income bracket. It would make owning a home more affordable compared to renting, right? It would ease the financial burden for current homeowners and make owning a home more attractive to prospective buyers. Okay, I think that's going to happen. And corporate tax cuts and real estate development is huge, because these cuts could play a big role in real estate. Lower taxes on businesses might encourage more companies to expand, relocate, or invest in physical spaces, which then would, of course, then drive the demand for commercial real estate. I have a commercial building on the market right now. It's difficult out there. And this could also have a trickle-down effect on residential markets, because then we have job growth in these areas, and that naturally leads to higher demand for housing. So it all works together. So to summarize, this tax policy under Trump could create opportunities for buyers, sellers, and investors. Now, it may spur activity, but they could also lead to more competition in certain markets. Okay, so to watch that. So for homeowners and builders and investors, stay informed about these policies, and how they're implemented will be crucial to making smart financial moves in 2025. That's why I need to hang on to my channel here. And before I get to what I would do if I were a buyer or seller now in real estate, I want to talk about inflation and interest rates, because these are the two biggest factors shaping the real estate market, okay, in 2025. They directly affect your wallet, whether you're a buyer, seller, or investor. So how might a Trump presidency influence these critical elements? Well, let's tackle inflation first. How would Trump's economic policies drive inflation? Well, during his first term, his policies like tax cuts and increased government spending, they help stimulate economic growth. And if he continues down this path again in 2025, we might see similar strategies aimed at boosting the economy. That's great. And this economic growth, if you combine that with tax cuts, will increase consumer spending. Great for businesses, right? Because right now, we already have high cost of goods and services and construction. This has been the problem right now. This is passed on to the consumers, the buyers and renters. That's based upon what the past administration has just done. But moving forward to the Trump administration, we also have the Federal Reserve role in balancing inflation and rates, because their job is to keep inflation under control. When inflation rises too quickly, they typically respond by raising interest rates. But you haven't seen that happening as much. But this is where Trump and the Fed could clash. They did that during the first term. So Trump has historically pushed for lower rates, for interest rates, to stimulate borrowing and spending, which aligns with his pro-growth agenda. But inflation starts to spike, the Feds might feel it's no choice but to raise the rates, even if it goes against Trump's wishes. So this is a big tug of war here. After the tug of war creates uncertainty in the real estate market. So higher rates for buyers and sellers. What happens if the Fed does raise the rates for you buyers, okay? Well, if it raises by 1%, then your purchasing power gets reduced by 10%. That's big. Now for home sellers, higher rates shrink the pool of qualified buyers, right? And that could lead to longer listing time, especially if it's not priced right or it's not staged properly. Homes that might have sold quickly in a low interest rate environment can sit on the market longer. Basically, they're the homes that when the sellers do nothing and they expect everything, they're the ones that will sit on the market longer. And that'll be a good investment for home buyers to keep an eye on those. But in the end, inflation and interest rates will play a critical role, I believe, in shaping their real estate market under Trump's presidency. And if you're planning to buy or sell in 2025, it's essential to watch these trends closely. So a good strategy, whether you're a homeowner or an investor, is to work with a professional who can help you, guide you through these changes, and also to keep an eye on my channel. So I'm going to be on top of this. So subscribe to The Real Deal Real Estate channel, get no facts, no fluff. And as promised, here are my predictions and a bonus tip for you on what I would do if I were a buyer, seller, investor. So first, my prediction of home prices. So in the short term, in the first half of 2025, I think prices will stay relatively flat in most areas. I think in our area, they're going to do a little bit of a jump. Buyers are kind of still adjusting to high interest rates, and sellers, they're going to think, well, let me wait to the spring market. Maybe that'll be better. My home, I won't lower my price now because I don't need to sell. I think mid to long term, by late 2025, when Trump's policies stimulate the economy and lending becomes easier, we'll see prices start to climb again. I think between 4 to 6%. Could be different in areas like Florida, Texas, and Arizona, where there's a little stronger growth. But I think most areas will see a price increase. How do I know that sellers are interested in selling now more? Well, because I'm getting lots of calls since Trump was elected. I'm getting calls right and left. I already have 28 homes slated for 2025. I usually have about 18 right now. I usually do about 50 for the year. and my team and I, that's my max. But I think we'll be doing more. I might need to hire some more people. Anybody looking for a job in real estate, give me a call because we're going to need a lot of help this year. But anyway, now for the bonus tip. What I would do if I were a buyer, seller, investor right now. What should you do? What should you do if you're a buyer? Well, my advice is if you want to buy a house. Don't wait for the interest rates to drop because prices will go up. And if you cannot go back and buy a house at today's prices when they go up. They will go up. Okay, so I'm not just saying that because you go out and buy a house. If you want to buy and you can afford to buy, let's buy. You know, if you need a realtor, there's a Real Deal realtor in your area, give me a call, put a comment below. And for you home sellers, get your home staged now. Get your room by room review and a copy of my book. If you're living in Philadelphia suburbs or in South Jersey, give me a call. We need to get out there earlier than you think, as soon as possible, to get your home staged and ready and do it for a great cost because contractors are not going to be busy this winter. And don't wait till the spring. Give me a call. Would you come out and sell my house now when you've done everything wrong that I wouldn't do and I have to redo everything? Because presentation is key. You have to make sure your home is presented to the current buyers of today, the millennials who are buying homes. It's the largest group of people buying right now, right? So I'm still selling over the listed price because I price them right, present them great. Pricing effectively after fantastic, trending presentation is key. And that's why you need to start now, earlier than you think. Because why? I just took over a listing. It was $850. I listed for $950. I put $25 into it. It wouldn't sell at $850. Probably wouldn't have sold for more than $790 the way it looked and was presented. We're getting over $100,000 more, spending $25,000. Okay, those are the things you have to put some skin in the game if you're a home seller. That's my advice. And for you investors out there, you gotta keep an eye on the opportunities. Get some realtors who are going to go out there and find properties for you. Don't just look on the MLS or Zillow. You know, when Trump's policies encourage more economic growth, it's a great time. It'll be a great time to pick up properties, especially rentals. But do stay cautious and do your homework. Make sure the deals make sense with today's rates because you want to make sure you make money. All my investors make money. I just had a home sale investor bought my property and I made sure he made money. Okay. I don't want people buying an investment property and not be on, because I'm the one who has to sell it and not be able to sell it. So 2025 is shaping up to be an interesting year for real estate. With Trump back in the White House, I think we're likely to see some changes that could create fabulous opportunities. But the key right now is to stay informed and work with professionals who can guide you through the market and keep coming back to the Real Deal Real Estate channel. This 2025 Real Deal Challenge, I'm going to add on 4 more channels I can't wait to share with you. So if you're thinking of buying, selling, or investing, drop your questions in the comments below. Reach out to me directly. What do you think about all this? Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more real estate insights every week. I'm here to help you make great decisions and smart decisions in any market. And don't forget, I have a Real Deal agent for you in any market. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.